Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Animation Edition, Season 8. We are on episode 4. We've had 3 contestants who haven't made it to the million. Can our fourth one do it? Let's stay and find out. We have with us a very familiar face. Someone's been on the show a couple of times in the past. He's a podcaster, YouTuber, all-around animation fan, film critic, and he's everywhere. Mr. Jonathan North, how are you?
Hey, pretty good.
Thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And for people who are new to you, care to introduce yourself?
I'm Jonathan North. I guess I'm mostly a podcaster now. I started on YouTube and I've kind of gradually transitioned into almost exclusively podcasts, although everything ends up on YouTube anyway. My main show is I Heart Movies, but I also have a second podcast called Every Version Ever, where I try and do every version ever of a whole wide variety of show or stories like Alice in Wonderland, War of the Worlds, that kind of thing. Like classic novels. A few other things here and there, but mostly classic novels. And yeah, I love animation. I cover a lot of animation on both podcasts. Eventually, I want to have an animation focused podcast, but I need time to actually launch that. So I've told people that that's coming eventually. So I'm hoping maybe early next year.
Nice. We're all waiting with bated breath. And for anyone who's new to this is a 12-question multiple choice game show about anything remotely in the field of animation. As long as Jonathan keeps getting questions right, he goes higher up the ladder. And once he gets one wrong, that's the end of the game. And he leaves with last number of points from last safe haven. He has 3 lifelines to help him 50-50. Gets rid of 2 wrong answers. If one friend if he chooses, he can call someone for help or ask the expert. This season, our expert is Mr. Skylar Schuler of Diz Insider fame. He's won the game show last season, so I've asked him all the questions this season. Jonathan can see how he answers and decides if he wants to go with that or not. And if Jonathan gets to 32,000 points to get that right, he gets a 4th lifeline, a double dip, which gives him 2 chances at answering your question. Jonathan, are you ready to play Millionaire?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
That's all we can hope for, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. And this year, ladder of points. Remember, the yellow ones are the benchmarks. Once you get to those, you can't lose them no matter what. And again, everyone, this is Skylar Schiller. Check out his website, thedisinsider.com, which he founded. It's a wonderful place for Disney film scoops. Just today, I was reading, they posted a news about directors who came on to do a film adaptation of Thunder Mountain. So it's a good place to get your Disney scoops at a very early on. And Jonathan, let's start. 500 points. Which animated Disney canon film is about an arcade game bad guy who aspires to be a hero? It's Wreck-It Bob, Wreck-It Ralph, Wreck-It Steve, Wreck-It Edward.
That would be B, Wreck-It Ralph. Final answer.
And nothing's final, so say final answer, so take your time, but I'm sure you know your answer.
Yes.
Are you a Wreck-It Ralph fan? Are you a fan of Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, I like it.
It's okay to me. I'm not super in love with it like some people are, but it's all right. It's better than the sequel, in my opinion.
I like both, but I do think they don't feel classic Disney, but I do like them.
Yeah, maybe if they came out from a different studio, it would feel more in line. But I don't look at this character and think Disney.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember this movie was like back in the day. They were still like talking about making that. It was called Joe Jump, I think, at the time, or something like that.
Oh,
And then
I vaguely remember that.
it's like back in the 2000s or something.
Yeah.
Eventually became this. But anyway, Jonathan, you got that right. The next one's 1,000 points. I have to remind you, get that wrong, you leave with nothing. I don't think it'll happen, but just have to remind you, 1,000 points. Based on the children's book series by H.A. Ray and Margaret Ray, what type of animal is the title character in the animated 2006 film Curious George? Parrot, a monkey, a dog, or a cat?
I'm going to say B, monkey, but I'm pretty sure he's more like a chimp because he doesn't have a tail. But I think for the purposes of this question, it will be B, monkey. Final answer.
Yes, and these questions were not proofreaded by a zoologist. So your answer is correct. Congratulations. That was the first no matter what. Okay, yes, that's on me. Maybe he's not a monkey. Maybe an ape, a simian, I guess. But
Everyone calls him a monkey, but he
still,
doesn't have a tail, so he would be in the ape family.
well, good thing Doctor Doolittle wasn't playing today. This movie, I remember. Well, I grew up with the books, so they're a big part of
Hmm.
my childhood. And I don't know if you remember, there was like an animated like specials based on the books back in like the 80s, and like they would show them randomly in Disney Channel when I that random time when I had Disney Channel. And I remember watching them there. And then this movie came out, which I liked. I like the animation style especially, but I feel that this has just been forgotten, even though there's like 5 sequels to this right now.
I've never seen any of the movies or the animated specials, but I grew up with the books.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure we either had books or borrowed them from the library a lot because I'm
yeah,
very familiar with Curious George.
library is mine
Yeah,
as well. And then they made another TV show based on this movie that was on PBS, so that I used to watch a lot. But yep, Curious George, the non-monkey, is the correct answer. All right, Jonathan, let's keep going. 2,000 points. What phrase is mentioned in the animated 2021 Pixar film Luca as a way to hush your inner naysayer? Is it Silenzio Carlo, Silenzio Marco, Silenzio Antonio, Silenzio Bruno?
that would be D. Silencio Bruno. Final answer.
Just whizzing through these, your answer is correct. There was a thing about like what does Disney have against Bruno? Like he's in this movie he's told to be silent, and in Encanto we don't talk about him. In Cinderella he's just a dog that they kick around. So I don't know. What do you think of Luca?
I liked it. It was cute. It wasn't like a regular, I don't know. Movies these days have to have like huge world saving plots about evil bad guys, and I
Marvel
like that this one
stuff.
was just quieter. It reminded me of like a Studio Ghibli film because it's just a couple of kids having an adventure.
It had that vibe. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I wasn't super excited about it, but it was better than I thought it would be. So that's something I give to the film. And I did like the voice acting for most of the part. I
Hmm.
thought that was really well done.
Yeah,
The
a lot of
villain,
great
what
voices.
the villain, I couldn't decide. Is this is this like an older kid, or is this like an adult bullying these small boys? I couldn't quite grasp what age he was supposed to be.
I'm not sure. I I would read him as more of an adult, but I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like he was just like some 20-year-old, 30-year-old guy just picking on these kids. But apparently he's like a teenager, like an older teenager picking on these. I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, you got that right. You have all your lifelines. 5,000. Let's go. Which character was the main antagonist in the animated 2004 DreamWorks animation film Shrek 2? Fairy Godmother, the Pied Piper, Old King Cole, or Rumpelstiltskin?
I'm I
Take
haven't
your
seen
time.
this in years, but I'm 98% sure it's the fairy godmother. So I'm gonna go A, fairy godmother, final answer.
Ooh, 98%. You took a gamble there. Is that right? Your answer is correct.
I think Rumpelstiltskin was a later one. I know he was a bad guy in one of them, but I think it was towards the end.
Yeah, I think the fourth one is the bad guy, and the Pied Piper is, I think, also appears in the fourth movie, like a lower henchman or something.
Oh, I didn't even remember the Pied Piper.
Yeah, I don't think he talks. If I remember, I think he was just a silent character. But Old King Cole, I don't think has ever been in one of these films.
I don't think so.
But yeah, Fairy God. This is I I think I've talked about it with you, but I can't remember. I'm generally not a fan of the Shrek movies at all. Like even the
Hmm.
first one, I never got into, and I know everyone loves Shrek too. But if I had to pick a favorite of them, it would be Shrek, the first one.
I haven't seen them any of them in years, but I think the first two were the best. I I don't really remember 3 and 4, except I remember Rumpelstiltskin was in one of them.
Yeah, they're better not remembered. They're better forgotten. But all right, John, you did well. You have three more to the next benchmark. So have all your lifelines. Let's keep going. 10,000. Which animated 1970s Dr. Seuss television special features songs such as Family Gradanza, Beautiful Kitten Fish, and Calculatus Eliminatus to the Lorax? Horton Hears a Who, The Cat in the Hat, or Halloween is Grinch Night?
I have absolutely no idea.
I take the time you have on lifelines if you need them.
I guess I'm probably going to go 50-50 because I kind of doubt that Skylar's going to know this one since his area of expertise is more modern films and Disney. So
Are
I
you
guess I'll go 50-50.
are you leaning towards anything right now?
Maybe The Cat in the Hat because one of the songs has the word family in the title.
All right, let's get rid of two wrong answers. Horton Hears a Who, and the Cat in the Hat is there as well. You could use
Okay.
another lifeline or take a guess.
I think I'm going to go with Cat in the Hat because I think, well, I was going to say I think I've seen Horton Hears a Who, but I think it's Horton Hatches the Egg that I've seen.
Take the time. You have options.
I think I'll stick with my original thought since it stuck around for taking on the 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cat in the Hat.
I'll go with C, Cat in the Hat. Final answer.
Oh boy, how sure are you?
50% sure.
Well, that's great. You had no idea. You won 50-50. You're going with Cat in the Hat. You get this right. You keep going. You get it wrong. It was nice having you. Jonathan, your answer is correct.
Oh, good.
And your heart was in your hand there. But yeah, this is. I definitely recommend watching this one if you haven't. The songs are really good. Alan Sherman, if you know him, he was a big like song parody guy like back in the '60s before Weird Al Yankovic. So
Mm,
he voices the cat and he sings the songs, and they're all pretty catchy. And I think Dr. Seuss does the lyrics, so they're very fun. I used to watch this all the
okay.
time growing up. So I always said Dr. Seuss books are better adapted as these specials instead of full length
Probably,
movies.
yeah. I feel like I'm one of the rare people who actually likes the Jim Carrey Grinch, but that's just because I grew up with it. I have a
So,
feeling if I didn't grow up with it and I watched it as an adult, I probably would hate it like I hated the Cat in the Hat.
well, that one deserves to be hated, yes. All right, you use it 50-50, but you're two away from the next benchmark and the next lifeline if you get that right. So 20,000. Which NFL player voices a character in the animated 2017 Blue Sky Studios film Ferdinand? Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, or Tim Tebow?
I have no idea. I'm going to ask the expert.
All right.
Hopefully he saw this one.
Hopefully he saw this. We're going to ask Skylar. He said, I'm 100% sure it is B, Peyton Manning.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with him then. B. Peyton Manning, final answer.
Well, again, no idea, but Skylar 100% sure. Mr. Peyton, your answer is correct.
Good.
Have you seen this movie?
No.
I don't know why Peyton Manning was in this movie. Like, I don't know. I just don't know why. But I mean, he wasn't bad, but I don't know why he thought he needed to be in the movie, but or someone thought he needed to be in the movie. But yeah, he voices this bull who is one of the Ferdinand's group, I guess. So
Hmm.
it's one of the better Blue Sky films. So I definitely recommend checking it out.
I plan to eventually because I grew up with the film with the book Ferdinand. I
Hmm.
remember seeing the short film, so I had thought of doing Ferdinand as a very mini series for every version ever sometime when I need to fill in some slots. So I probably will watch it eventually.
Yeah, the I grew up with the book too as well, and I haven't seen the Disney short though. I don't think I've seen that yet, surprisingly. But I did watch this movie.
I think I saw the Disney short when I was a kid, and then I watched it again on Disney Plus last year.
At least I know where to check it out. Jonathan, you have one lifeline left, one more expert, but if you get the next one right, you'll get the double dip, and you'll have 32,000 no matter what. Let's see
Okay.
what it is. 32,000. How does the villain Sykes die in the animated 1980 Disney canon film Oliver and Company? Does he fall off a building, drown in a lake, get hit by a train, or get eaten by his own guard dogs?
C gets hit by a train. Final answer.
This one you had no hesitation. Your
No, I've seen this one enough. I better know the answer.
well, I won't tease you. Your answer is correct. Congratulations, you have 32,000 no matter what, and you have the double dip. Yeah, this is the best picture I can get of the aftermath of that death. Uh, but yeah, I haven't seen this movie a lot growing up. It's probably I've probably seen this maybe I don't think more than 3 times, maybe even two. But yeah, his death I think stands out.
I know I've seen it a few times when I was a kid. I don't remember it ever being a favorite, but I know my cousins love this one, so I've seen it. I might have seen it more as an adult than I have as a kid because they just love this one. They all like are almost in tears over little Oliver at the beginning, alone in the box.
That was a good
But
song too, because that was Howard Ashman wrote the lyrics to that song, so that was pretty
mm,
cool. But yeah, I don't know anybody who like this is like in their top 5 favorite Disney films. That's interesting to know.
I'm not sure where they would rank it because we've never talked about ranking Disney films, but I know that they love this one.
Nice. Well, one day I'll have to. I'm currently doing a rewatch of the Disney canon, very slow
Same.
rewatch, but eventually I'll get to it.
Yeah, same. I'm doing it for my I have a mini series within iHeart Movies that hopefully also will soon be its own podcast, the Disney Movie Marathon. And I am slowly going through the Disney animated canon. I just did Cinderella, and when I don't know when this episode is going up, but Alice in Wonderland is recorded, and as soon as I edit it, that will be the next episode of the podcast.
Nice. I'll put links to that once you post that. All right, Jonathan. Next is 64,000. We want to get you higher. We want to get you the million. Here's 64,000. In the animated 2020 Warner Animation Group film Scoob, Scooby Doo is said to be the last remaining descendant of the dog belonging to which famous historical figure? Is it Julius Caesar, Hammurabi, Cleopatra, or Alexander the Great? Did you see this one?
I have, but I do not remember that
All right, you have
plot
a,
detail.
you have a double dip, or you have one the last expert.
Let's do the last expert.
All right, let's go to Skylar. His last time for this game, he said, "My son made me watch this movie constantly during quarantine. I'm 100% sure it is D. Alexander."
Okay, well, he didn't let me down before, so let's go with him again. D. Alexander the Great, final answer.
Well, it, Skylar saw it a bunch of times as a kid. Your answer is correct. Thank you, Skylar. You helped out a lot. And yeah, they mentioned that it's quite an important fact in this movie that he's Alexander the Great's dog, and he's the descendant of that. And at the end, there's a whole thing with the ruins of Alexander the Great. It's an interesting movie.
I guess I vaguely remember. I saw the movie once. I was
Mm.
not that impressed with it. I don't remember hardly anything about it.
Well, when the movie was announced, I was very excited because it was going to be the first theatrical release animated Scooby Doo film, and I thought there would be a lot of like high quality and all that, and then they changed it to like direct to video or direct to streaming. Then I saw it, and I don't think I hated it, but
Hmm.
I did see you could see that a lot of story changes and story elements were thrown out or added.
Mm,
Like they had a story they were going with, and then it looks like maybe due to budget cuts or whatever stuff was taken out, and it
mm,
like the Captain Caveman appears randomly, and it just kind of seems like they would have done a better job with that. And the sad thing is, they were making a sequel to this movie, but that recently got canceled. Warner
hmm,
Brothers pulled that. I guess it was last week or so. So
hmm.
that's sad. But
Yeah, especially because it was almost done.
yeah, yeah, I saw the director posted on Instagram that the movie got canceled, but they had a recording session planned with like the to record the music and stuff.
Hmm.
So they just went ahead and recorded the music anyway. So
Yeah.
that was
Like
cool.
I'm not really a Scooby-Doo fan. I didn't really like the first movie, but I'm still annoyed on behalf of like the entire team that
Yeah,
their work is all for nothing.
it's
It's a bad that's a bad situation. It
it's
doesn't
very
look good for the heads at Warner Brothers.
yeah. I don't know what they were thinking, but it's always sad when a movie doesn't get released. It like
Hmm.
there's movies that okay you can release them and they're bad. Okay, great, but at least they get released. But movies that are just unreleased,
Hmm.
there's just a lot of questions.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan, you only have one lifeline left, the double dip, but maybe it's enough to get into the million. Let's see, 125,000. For which animated DreamWorks animation film does the English comedian and Monty Python fame John Cleese have a story credit? The Shrek, Megamind, Monsters vs. Alien, or The Croods?
How does Double Dip work?
You get two chances. You get to guess two answers. So if you guess A and A is wrong, then you get one more chance to guess an answer before instead of getting automatically wrong. So you say A, I say that's you say A, I say that's wrong. Then you say B, I say okay, that's right, and you keep going.
So
But
you have to say that you're using the double dip
correct,
first and
correct,
then
yeah. But if both answers are wrong, then and keep in mind the top five of you will come back for a second round if no one gets the million. So if you
I
want to
think
walk
I'll
away,
use the double dip because I think I know what it is, but there's another one that I think it also could be.
so we're gonna use the double dip. So what's the first answer you want to guess?
I'm gonna guess D, the Crudes, for my first answer. Final
Final.
answer.
How sure are you?
80% sure.
Okay, that's pretty good, but at least
I,
you have
I
another.
feel like I remember something in the history of that movie, like a scrapped version of the movie, but I'm not 100% sure.
Hey, let's see. At least you have another chance if this is wrong. Your answer is correct.
Okay, I
There
guess
you
I shouldn't have used it, but I could also have seen it being Shrek because I know he's involved in that franchise. I didn't know if he was involved in the first one at all,
Yeah, he
but
wasn't involved in the first. He only joins the cast in the second one on. But you're right. Yeah, he one one of the original ideas of the cruise was based on an idea of his. So, but I'm pretty sure it got modified a lot until the final product.
yeah,
So yeah, you great job. Congratulations on remembering that. And, the cruise is another one that it's fine. I don't like
I
it.
love the Croods.
Really?
It's one of my favorite DreamWorks
Oh,
films.
okay, nice. What do you like about it?
Just the imagination of the world,
Oh,
like all the creature designs. I like the characters too. I love the grandmother. I mean, I always love old grandmother characters who have attitude, but like everything about the movie just is so creative and it's just colorful and cool to look at. It's one of the few movies that I guess I was going to say in recent history, but I guess it's been a while since it came out. I left the theater and I was like, I could go back in there and watch it again right
oh,
now.
yeah, that's high praise. Like
Yeah,
really high praise. I will say I like it better than the sequel. I wasn't that fond of the sequel.
I like both, but I'd have to watch them both again to decide which I like better because they both have the same stuff that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Just the imagination, the colors, the designs, characters. They're kind of in my memory, they're equal. I'd have to watch them again to see which one I liked better.
Awesome. I salute you for that. All right, Jonathan. You don't have any lifelines, but you're 3 away from the next benchmark. So again, if you want to walk away at a high number, feel free to, because there's a round two if no one gets the million. Or if you want to keep going, hey, that's your choice too. Let's
We'll
see
see what the
benchmark.
next one is first. Then I'll decide.
Good idea. 250,000. The titular character in the animated Nickelodeon children's television series Oswald from 2001-2003 is what type of animal? An ocelot, an octopus, an opossum, or orangutan?
I think I'm gonna walk. I have a guess, but it's only based on a fragment of a memory of a title.
Well, what's your guess?
My guess would be Ocelot, but I am not. I'm like 30% sure. I have almost no idea, but I vaguely feel like I remember like Oswald Ocelot from something, but I could just be imagining that. I don't know. I'm gonna say that I'll be done here just so that I don't drop back down.
They walk away with 125,000. That's your final answer.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jonathan. You played amazingly. You have the highest score so far of all the players this season with 125,000. So if you told me also final answer, you'd been wrong.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he was actually an octopus, and he had this
I
like
would have I would
hot
never
dog,
have guessed
hot
that.
dog pet. So
Yeah, I would have never guessed that. I feel like there was an Ocelot character a long time ago, but I I don't know why I thought that. I just the Oswald and Ocelot just sounded right, but like I said, it would have only been a guess, so I'm glad I walked.
glad you walked too. It was really, man, I really enjoyed this game. It was really fun playing with you like usual. And before we go, is there anything you want to say? How can people find you on?
Yeah, I'm shocked that I made it this far. I don't remember how well I've done in the past, but I
Yeah,
don't think it was this well.
I think
I
you've
kind
gotten
of
far
thought that I
before.
would have been out early, but I'm I'm glad for Skylar's knowledge of modern films that I haven't seen, or that I have seen and have forgotten the entire plot of.
Scoop.
Yeah,
And how can people find you online?
you can find me at John J North on Twitter, Instagram. On Instagram, I also have one that's just for my podcasts at Jonathan Hart's Movies, I believe. I'm sure you'll have a link
Yeah,
somewhere.
I posted down
And
below.
I have a link tree that has like everything, all the podcasts, latest episodes, everything. So that's a good way to find out what I'm doing too.
Nice, and I'll definitely post that. And for all you watching, we had 4 contestants. None made it to the million, but can some one of the other 6 contestants do? Who knows? Stay tuned and keep watching. Take care. Bye.
Bye.